Hello everybody and welcome to beautiful Road Atlanta, just outside Brazelton, an hour and a half or so north of the downtown district of the city of Atlanta. The Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup has been coming here for a very long time, and it has always been one of the highlights, and it's no different now that it's come back into the IMSA paddock. The circuit itself is superb. 2.5 miles, a bit of everything. A long, fast straight down from turn 7 to turn 10, over the top of the hill and down into the plunging turn 12. Down the front straight, attack turn 1, 2 and 3, then down through the signature S's to turn 5. Turn 6, a little bit of banking on there, and that brings us back to where I started this track description at turn 7. Possibly the most important corner on the circuit because it leads onto that long curving back straight, and it's a circuit, it's a turn, should I say, at 7 that always leaves you thinking you could have gone round it a little bit faster, until you can't and you're off in the Georgia clay. We have 25 cars entered this weekend. There are 24 on the grid. Shea Adam is alongside me, John Hindorf, in the Global Broadcast Centre overlooking the start-finish line here at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. Brilliant sunshine. We have 33 Celsius on the track and 23 Celsius in the air. That's 91 Fahrenheit on track and 73 Fahrenheit in the air. We're just waiting for the command to start the engines. The teams have lined up the Mazda MX-5 Cup cars with the tails in to the pit wall. Let's have a look from back to front at the grid, the Mazda starting grid. We have 12 rows with Peter Atwater and Joe Rainey on the back row of the grid in 24th and 23rd position. Joey Rainey and Christian Hodenland are on row number 11. Row 10, Heather Hadley and Julian DaCosta. Row 9, Jonathan Neudorf and Caleb Bacon. Row 8, Frankie Barroso, one of the rookies, and Sally Mott, another one of the rookies for Spark Performance. Alex Bashura just been crowned Ford Mustang Legends champion. He's in a great mood. You can't wipe the smile from his face in the number 33. He's on the outside of row 7 with Noah Harmon from AAG Racing for company. Then it's Spark Performance Grant West and Advanced Autosport Nathan Nicholson. John Jodouin from Macumbi Macaleer Racing is on the outside of row 5, and as we go into the top 10, then Woody Hyman in 9th position. You may have noticed that I have not mentioned Jagger Jones, who qualified in 16th position. He is serving a 1-race ban, so everyone from 16th has moved up 1 position. Parker DeLong is on the outside of the 4th row with Jared Thomas of JTR Motorsports fame. He's on the inside. In the top 6, Weston Workman at 6 is the top rookie qualifier for PSI Racing in the purple number 13. JTR Motorsports Engineering, Aaron Johnson in the number 24 is in 5th. Tyler Gonzalez for Saito Motorsport Group is in 4th position on the outside of the 2nd row in the number 57, with Nate Cicero for his companion. And on the front row in a Macumbi Macaleer 1-2-3, Gresham Wagner on the outside in the number 5 car, and his teammate Jeremy Fletcher in the blue and white number 22 is on pole position. Well, Shea, the championship finally poised at the front of the field. We've got the rookie championship to think about as well. Points permutations. We know that 1 position here, 1 position there, points for pole position, points for fastest lap and laps led, they could all come into championship contention this weekend.
And it was our points leader who took the 10 valuable bonus points for getting that pole position. Jeremy Fletcher now leading Jared Thomas by 70 points. Coming into today's race, Gresham Wagner is 3rd, Nate Cicero 4th. And guess who starts 1, 2, 3? Well, you just said it, MMR up at the front of the field. This could be a very exciting race.
3/4 of an hour, but full on excitement. The safety car has pulled off and we are ready to go racing, and the green flag is in the air and the 45 minutes is counting down. MMR with a great control of the front 3 position. Oh, it's a little touch there. Gresham Wagner hit his teammate and has gone wide. He's lost about half a dozen position. It was the tiniest of brushes, the right front of Wagner's car to the left rear of the 22, and that has cost Gresham Wagner serious track position. It, I don't think, has damaged Jeremy's car in the number 22. As off goes Wagner and goes grass cutting down the inside of the S's, following him through on the grass there, the bright yellow of the number 82 Woody Hyman JTR. So what happened at that first corner? Was there a little touch from behind first before Gresham ran into his teammate?
I don't know. Maybe Tyler Gonzalez loosened him up just that tiny bit, but Gresham Wagner's car is extremely loose, and Woody Hyman actually followed him through the grass cutout, heading down toward the bottom of the S's. His door mirror is pushed in on the driver's side. It's good news for Woody. He should be able to just stick a hand out the window and pop that back into place, but they are side by side for MMR. Trying to keep Aaron Johnson behind is Jeremy Fletcher, because right now the battle is on for that second position. Johnson started P5. He had a very racy car in qualifying this morning. Very different conditions when it was so cold out, and then we're having trouble getting heat into the Michelin tires. No issues with getting heat and getting properly warmed up as they come down the hill to complete their first lap, which means that right now Jeremy Fletcher has led more laps than anyone else because he has 1 to his name. That's 10 more bonus points.
Fletcher across the line. Aaron Johnson, Nate Cicero, Tyler Gonzalez as they went through. That was your top 4 of Western Workman is the best of the rookies, and as they go across the skyline again and drop down into the signature S's, those top 3 share are breaking away.
They are, and we saw something very similar as, oh no, there's drama. Weston Workman has come into the pit lane. Weston is our Rookie of the Year championship contender. He's the one leading the way, and going very slowly out on the track is Woody Hyman. It looks like Woody had a bit of damage too, as well as the mirror being pushed in. No, Woody is actually in the pit lane. Weston Workman, though, this is drama for the BSI's best contender as far as this field is concerned.
So Weston Workman, who was scored at 5th across the line, is showing as stopped on the circuit. So what happens to Weston in that number 13 car? Tyler Gonzalez just ahead of him, Jared Thomas behind him. No, it's a transponder issue. He's popped back onto the timing screen. So there's a sigh of relief, I think, from everybody at BSI Racing.
Well, this is our 3rd transponder issue of the weekend so far, and I think it's the 2nd one actually for Weston. He had issues at the beginning of FP1 yesterday with a transponder. The other car who's been fighting some issues is Julian DaCosta, 2nd in the Rookie of the Year championship, driving the number 78 for BSI Racing. Julian, a youngster, very impressive. Good head on his shoulders. He didn't get the performance he wanted out of qualifying, and I spoke with Jared Thomas earlier because he runs with JTR Motorsport Engineering. He said Julian's car has had some kind of electrical gremlin in it all year that they haven't been able to purge.
Aaron Johnson was scored as the leader last time around, but he's just lost that again at the top of the hill as they go back through. So Jeremy Fletcher back in the lead, but Johnson scored as the leader at the line, so that's what counts. Behind them, the number 83, Nate Cicero, then the mostly white car with the stripes, sitting in 4th position. A little bit of defensive driving going on down towards turn 6 in the sunshine. Now, where is Gresham Wagner after that grassy moment? He's in position number 7 at the moment, and off the circuit for the number 15, Sally Morton, the Spark Performance car, one of our rookies. And is that, well, that's interesting because she has got the fuel filler cap up on that car. So has there been a little bit of a side swipe to that car? There's a dent behind the front right hand side. Yeah, she got touched coming out of turn number 5. You are leaning on the right hand side of that car so heavily at turn 5. You've got to avoid the bump and damage to the front as well of Sally's car, but she is rolling again. So leaders across the line. We've only had 5 minutes of the race, by the way. Plenty of excitement so far.
Aaron Johnson leading the pack as they come around this time. It was actually Fletcher who was credited with the last lap, although they were separated by 3/5 of nothing at all.
Really?
So now Johnson has led a lap. So we're getting a bit of a battle on our hands. But the other thing to keep an eye on, who gets the fastest lap? Because that's where the other 10 bonus points are going to come from in today's race. And as I mentioned, bonus points making a big difference. You look at someone like Christian Wagner, for example, 90 bonus points on the year so far. It really makes a difference when we're talking about the season-end championship. And why do we care about that, John? Because they give out the comedy big checks on Friday.
And that comedy big check, I mean it's comedy because of the size of it, because of the amount, that translates into
real cash money.
Thanks for the Discord group. Hi guys, thanks for the support again all through this season. So
Sally made it into the pit lane.
excellent.
Good.
Now here's the power of the draft. Slipstreaming down the long back straight and through to the lead for the first time goes Nate Cicero, with Tyler Gonzalez trying to make it 2 across the track. It's almost 3 across the track, down into the braking area at turn number 10. And through goes Cicero then to the lead, and then he is overtaken by Gonzalez, and Johnson follows him through to the Fox Factory Bridge. Oh, brake for the leader. And Gonzalez has got a 2 or a 3. Car leads, sideways moment for Fletcher in second, will cost him momentum down the front straight. And here comes the 83 of Cicero, the mostly black Mazda on the inside. And that was a Michelin tyre on the dirt coming out the final corner for Jeremy Fletcher, costs him second place. And this is great news for the man out front.
But keep an eye on who's lingering at the back of this pack. Is Jeremy Fletcher, really good save. And actually John Somm got drawn out at the exit of 12-2. He too had Michelin tires on the grass in the Georgia clay. I'm just keeping a weary eye on where Jared Thomas is. He's 5th place in the running right now. Man who's won the championship the last 2 years. And guess where both of the finales have taken place? That would be right here at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. So Jared is clearly someone who's comfortable racing these cars around this track. The only difference between the last 2 years, the tires that we're on now. The Michelins are quite different from the BF Goodriches.
Always had the Michelin rain tyres standing by just in case of inclement weather. Gone to the Michelin slip this year, or part of the same corporation, of course, so a lot of technology going backwards and forwards. It's been a great season this year, plenty of excitement. Am I 3 wide going down the hill, and through to second is Jeremy Fletcher, but Tyler Gonzalez still leading, and the chasing bunch need to get their act together. We're still well over 36, call it 37 minutes to go, and fighting for second, third and fourth means they're not gaining on the leader. But now that Jeremy Fletcher and Nate Cicero have got together, they're immediately on to the back of the leader. We normally see a bit of sparring, a bit of jousting in the early stages of the race, and then it all kicks off later on. Am I imagining this, or is this a little more hectic earlier on today?
There's definitely frenetic energy that's being displayed by the driving that we're seeing right now. The attitudes of the cars, it's a lot more of, I want to be out front because I know that I'm a lot less likely to get nerfed out of the way by somebody I don't like, because there will only be one person behind me, as opposed to there will be someone behind me, beside me, in front of me, maybe on the quarter panel, maybe just running through the grass and taking me out. There's a lot more unknown, and Jeremy Fletcher is not a fan of the unknown, which is why he is right up the tailpipe of Tyler Gonzalez. But Tyler is a wily old fox, young kid, by the way, not old, but still, he knows the name of the game. He knows how to win these big races, particularly the high-pressure ones. He's won at Daytona a couple of times, and anytime you get a win there, well, that's something to hang your hat on. Jeremy Fletcher got his first ever race win in this series the last time out at VIR, and then he backed it up by sweeping the weekend.
You might be wondering why these guys are fighting this hard when there's still well over half an hour to go. Well, things happen, and we have seen race victories taken literally moments before full course yellows or red flags have come out. Big move there from the 6th place driver, Parker DeLong, in the Parker DeLong Racing number 42. He was trying to make up a couple of positions, and he's right in behind that red and white car at the moment as he goes across the line. Jared Thomas ahead of him, and Jeremy Fletcher resets the fastest lap in second place with a 1:36.5.
I'm really impressed from what we're seeing from Parker DeLong. He is another rookie. He's run almost the full season, missed the round up north of the border at CTMP, but running well up within the top 5 right now, like threatening for a better position. Parker is sponsored by a trucking company that's based out of Atlanta.
And that is a new lap record for Jeremy Fletcher. Jared Thomas set the lap record back in 2021 here on a 1:36.5. New race lap record with a 36.501 against the previous lap record of a 1:36.567. It's tight, but it's a new lap record.
It's only going to fall again,
Yeah, I agree.
again and again. We got 34 minutes to go in this race, and I know that's kind of surprising given how the drivers are acting as if it is the last lap of the championship year.
That is absolutely true.
That comes tomorrow, guys.
Now the leaders are breaking away. We have seen in the past, have we not, just what can happen if the scrapping gets too heavy. I think it was Sebring, wasn't it, early in the year here, where we had a little bit of a kerfuffle and one of the drivers got away. They took more than half of the race for the chasing pack to get themselves organised. Now the leaders are going to have to deal with Woody Hyman, who is just ahead of them at the moment as they're going through over the top of the hill and down through the S's. Hyman just in the middle of the S's now as the leading group comes through. He's only about a couple or 3 seconds ahead of the group. It's still Gonzalez leading in that mostly white car with the green and red striping on the bonnet. Woody. Then, oh, a huge moment for Fletcher as he rides the curve. Ooh, that was a big moment. The Michelin tyres are really good at giving grip, but they have to be in contact with the asphalt.
That's a moment of opening the hands just a little bit too much there for Jeremy Fletcher. And yep, that was quite a bit of air for Jeremy Fletcher, way more than intended. Tyler Gonzalez taking the ideal line. Yeah, too much curb, just chucking Jeremy Fletcher out. Well, he actually missed the bump. I'm impressed with that jump. He timed the jump very well.
Well, that was like a bunny hop to get him over the gravel. He just, sorry,
Really?
Yeah, sorry.
Coming down the back, no, do not imitate the ears. Coming down the back stretch, we've got a battle on our hands once again. It's 2 of the JTR cars with Aaron Jean-Somme and Jared Thomas going side by side and following through the BSI interloper. It's Weston Workman once again. He does really like to get in the way of the team packs, and he does work with anyone as Jeremy Fletcher drops a wheel coming out of turn 10, and it opens the door for his 2 teammates with MMR, Nate Cicero and Gresham Wagner. Gresham's back. Yeah. That took no time at all.
Well, you know, that was on the first lap of the race. It's taken him 13 minutes to get back to 3rd position after being pushed out, or at least making a mistake maybe at turn 1. There was certainly a tiny bit of contact. Doesn't look to be much damage, if any at all, on the right front of that black and blue number 5 car. He lost half a dozen positions then he was on the grass down through the S's, taking a, shall we say, unconventional line. Now he's back in amongst it, and the top 4 are together. Gonzalez, Cicero, Wagner and Fletcher. The white car with the stripes, the black car with the blue, another black car with the blue on the fenders, and then the white and metallic blue car with the 22 of Fletcher. In fact, onto that now is the black and green car, and that is the driver that Jay was talking about, Parker DeLong. He's the best rookie now.
Yeah, and he is very much doing, if you'll forgive me, a bit of a Connor Zilic. Yep. He's racing with the guys at the front in a position where he hasn't been before. Now, battle for the lead has elapsed because Nate Cicero has decided that it's time for his number 83 machine to be at the head of the grid, and all 3 MMR cars go through.
Why would Gonzalez pull out there? He put himself out of the draft and put himself in the middle of the road. But he must have known that if the guys stayed behind him in a line, they were just going to easily draft past him and use that hole in the air made by these open top cars with the FIA roll cage. And again, Gonzalez pulls out of line, drops in behind Fletcher before they go through turn number 1. They're not tight for fuel here.
No. No, they're fully capable of running the entire race distance on not only a tank of fuel, but also the tires that they've got. They are well and truly fine on that. Now, they are starting to catch up to Woody Hyman, and that's not to say that Woody Hyman is going slowly, but he is going about 2 seconds a lap slower than this lead pack, and part of that is running all on his own. These cars are pushing each other forward quicker and quicker, and guess who's at the lead? Gresham Wagner. That didn't take very long, Gresham. Glad to see you righted the wrong that happened at the beginning of lap 1, turn 1, and now he's decided it's his turn to lead for a while. So just to give everyone an update on how we are for most laps led, it is Tyler Gonzalez with 5, Jeremy Fletcher has 2, Aaron Johnson and Nate Cicero each have 1.
Gresham Wagner then, with just under half an hour to go. We've had a third of this race. Leads Nate Cicero. And Fletcher Gonzalez, DeLong, is that Johnson just on the back? I think it is. And then look for the red and white car of Jared Thomas. He's under pressure at the moment from the number 77 of Noah Harmon, another one of the rookies in the AAG car. He's just gone through actually in that second group of 3 cars. He goes on to the dirt coming out of turn number 10 and 11. And there's a side-by-side for a pass. That bright yellow car on the front straight is the lapped car. So Woody trying to stay out of the way. Woody Hyman in the JTR Motorsports engineering car doing a pretty good job of doing that. There's nothing he can do at the top of the hill. He will end up being on the racing line at some position there. So the first, 5 cars got through before we got into the follow my leader section down through the S's.
Round of applause for Woody Hyman doing everything he could to keep it clean. He doesn't want to interfere with this championship. He wants it to be a fair and clean fight. And now the car that he is slightly interfering are actually 2 of his team cars. Aaron Johnson right behind him, and then Jared Thomas behind him. And that will not be thrilling Woody. He'll be trying to get out of the way as quickly as possible, but also he's out there to have fun. He wants to try and set the best lap time he can for race 2, because qualifying is set either from the session this morning, or if you can do a better lap, well, then that will give you the advantage. And Woody realizes this draft is fast. This pack, he wants to stay in it, and if he can stay in it, he might be able to set his personal best lap of the race.
John Hangle in the penultimate race of the season. This passing is still going on at the front of the field. Not sure what they're really achieving at the moment in the sunshine. They're giving us plenty of excitement, but the top 5 have made the break now. 6th position, Aaron Johnson. He is 1.3 seconds behind the top 5, and he's got almost 2 seconds of a gap to the chasing group. They head through again up the top of the hill to turns 2 and 3. 3rd gear, short shift to 4th. Oh, mistake there by Gonzalez. Too much curb on the left-handed part of turns 2 into 3, and that's cost him a position, and Wagner's back up to 2nd. But Fletcher has just eased away a little bit in that number 22 again. Not getting too excited about that. That blue, white and black fronted Mazda MX-5 from a company Michelin Racing.
Would you like to know Tyler Gonzalez's racing history here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta in this series?
Yeah.
A 1st, a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th with a fast lap.
Okay.
Not bad.
So is he going to finish 5th today?
Could do. I mean, the pattern was 2nd, 4th, 3rd, 1st, so could be. Or he could win it.
Well, any one of the top 6 or so could still win this. We've been clean for the first 25 minutes of this 45-minute contest. 1, 2, 3 across the track, coming into the braking area, and Gonzalez, having made a mistake in the early part of the lap, now regains the lead in the red, white and green, or should I say white, red and green. That white is the base colour of Tyler Gonzalez's car for the Daytona Motorsport group, side by side with the number 5 of Wagner and Cicero alongside him in the 83. Now 3 cars coming up the inside behind Nate Cicero, and Jared Thomas is back in the lead group. Another lap led by Tyler Gonzalez, ticked off on Shea's piece of paper here in the Global Broadcast Centre.
He's up to 6 now.
JTR red and white car 96, Jared Thomas wants to be in the mix here, and he's dragged Barton Workman and the number 77 of Noah Harmon, the AAG racing car, with him. These gaps that are between the cars are not insurmountable, Shea, as long as the cars work together. The drivers in those cars that have been slightly detached, if they can get together, they will drag back to the lead group.
Weston Workman's already won 2 races this year. He was the scholarship recipient as a rookie. He's got Rookie of the Year almost signed, sealed, and delivered by dint of starting this race. He very much is a threat to win this race today, John. And even though he dropped well back to 11th at the beginning of the race, he too has brought his way back forward a lot, like Gresham Wagner has.
Gresham Wagner reset the fastest lap a moment or two ago, 1:36.436. That's another lap record as we are 1, 2, 3 across the track, and through comes Jared Thomas.
He made a very bold and decisive move into turn number 9, getting around both Cicero and his teammate Aaron Johnson. Bravery rewarded in that instance. Racing Room asked for and given. I love to see this clean racing.
I take a breath because DeLong and Cicero in 7th and 8th were absolutely together. Parker DeLong looked like he was being squeezed just a little bit to the right-hand side of the track coming up the pit straight, but they've got through turn 1. The lead 3, then a singleton is Jared Thomas in the red and white car. Then another little gap, and we're talking very small margins here, but you really have to get in the draft, and clearly Thomas realises he does not want to lose touch with those leading 3. He's right there. Workman pulls out from behind the number 24 of Aaron Johnson. You can easily spot the 13 car. It's that dark purple colour in the UK. We're coming round to the holiday period, and you'll be getting your Cadbury's roses in. It's the big purple one with the toffee and the hazelnut in it. That's that colour.
No clue.
That's Quality Street, excuse me. Thank you, Nick Damon. That's Quality Street, not roses. Tells you how little big tins of chocolates I eat. Fletcher then, still leading them out down through the hill. You knew what I meant. It's the right colour.
I had no idea what you meant.
Everybody who's listening in the UK, in the middle of the hour, and actually it's early evening, isn't it? Appointment to watch racing as the leading 3 explode into our eye line under the Fox Factory 120 bridge, plunge down. The bump that's in the final corner has been substantially smoothed out with the repave here. Still Fletcher leading.
This is one of those places that I'm not sure that the bump has been smoothed out, or if the cars are just riding it better than we're used to.
Right. It used to be that in that final corner you had to slightly compromise your turning in the Mazda MX-5s, even with the DSSV multimatic suspension, which is highly sophisticated, because you just got shoved offline, so you had to turn in either a little bit early or turn in a little bit late and run across either the first part of the bump or the second part of the bump. You didn't want to have all 4 wheels across the bump.
Because watching other series from the same vantage point coming through that view, it did not look as smooth as it does in these cars.
Fantastic.
So Mazda clearly innovating and creating better products year in year, and we've seen that across the series. That's why we've reset the track record already this year, John. Yes, new tires, but also more development on the cars.
It's a sequential SAD-F box, flat shift up and auto blip on the way down. Full FIA safety roll cage and fire suppressant system. All the safety is absolutely paramount. And what we get from these open top cars is pure racing, and the car setups, yes, it's important. Far more importantly is the bravery and the racecraft of the drivers behind the wheel here.
For sure, and that's why this is such appointment viewing, because you never know who's going to be able to win a race. You look at the entry list and you say, all right, there are 24 cars starting today's race. In reality, 24 of them could win. 24 of them could wind up on the podium. None of them could wind up on the podium.
Reminder that Jagger Jones for BSI, who qualified in 16th position, is serving a 1 race ban back for the race tomorrow. Sally Mott sadly is now an official retirement after that incident coming out of turn 5 earlier in the race.
And they did let us know, did Race Control, that the incident involving her that ultimately took her out of the race is Tyler Gonzalez's massive save coming over the top of turn 5. It looked like he was heading for the wall and heading in a really not good angle, but managed to get the lock on the car control, slowed it down, and guess what? Didn't even slow it down that much. He's still up in the top 10.
Yeah, the other car involved with Nick Cicero, and that is being looked at the end of the race. Big slide across the gravel. Did he get a touch from Fletcher?
On his own. There was a sizable gap of air between himself and Fletcher, and then Cicero snuck through to the lead.
Well, there is another bump there, actually, at the top of the hill. You run right down the right-hand curb of turn 5 before you turn across it. It's almost like the crown of the road.
So, sorry, I was going to say that the incident involving Sally, we didn't see which other car there was, but that will be investigated post-race.
Cicero.
It was Cicero.
Right.
So that will be investigated post-race.
So that could have some implications. We've also got the earlier incident under review between... who was that? Earlier incident. No, that's I think that's an earlier race control message.
There's about 5 things that are under review post-race. Jared Thomas to the lead. He made a very nice smooth pass on Gresham Wagner going into turn 1, and Wagner is fighting back with the aid of both Jeremy Fletcher and Nate Cicero right behind him. So MMR very well equipped. No, where is Cicero? That's Weston Workman who's in third. Gresham Wagner off the track again, going down the S's. That's his second time doing that. Cicero's back in 6th.
6th position. Watch out for the dark-coloured 83 car as they come through. Turn 5, taking no prisoners here. As once again, Gresham Wagner is on the dirt. His Michelin tyres doing very nicely on the. Look, I know weather's been awful all over the relatively close quarters to this, but the winters aren't too high here, and the grass is actually pretty dry. Run down from Indianapolis and Nashville. When I was driving down here earlier in the week, I was just noticing how dry it was on the sides of the road. Wagner back to the lead from Jeremy Fletcher in 2nd. Jared Thomas looking menacing in 3rd, and we've got Workman. Oh, another touch from the red and white car and the blue and black car. That's Fletcher and Thomas.
That's the championship lead battle. Fletcher leads, Thomas wants it. There's 70 points between them.
Through to 2nd.
Weston Workman.
Wow. He's taken great advantage. There's another car to be passed, which is not too far up the road. No, that's the leader having broken away. Wagner, having been on the grass just a lap ago, has put, 2, 3, 4, 5 Mazda MX-5 ND lengths into the rest of the field. Jared Thomas gets a tap from a recovering Tyler Gonzalez in the mostly white car. So what went on to give our leader such a big gap? Yeah, it was a little coming together between Jeremy and Jared, and Weston Workman takes the wide line, gets on the power early, unleashes all 180 horsepower with a 2-litre 4-cylinder normally aspirated Mazda engine, which is showroom stock and is sealed to prevent any of the teams messing with them.
Parker DeLong is up to 4th now as a rookie.
Yeah.
He would be the...
He's not even the best rookie, though. He's got the best rookie in the race ahead of him.
He's learning from the best rookie of the year. So far, it's good to be learning from Weston Workman. I'm just start calling him the showman because of the performances that he's putting on. But Parker DeLong, 4th, he would be the 4th different rookie to finish on the podium this year, I'm pretty sure. Julian DaCosta, Nathan Nicholson, Weston Workman, all showing the way. And Weston, of course, with a couple of wins.
Coming down to the last third of the race. Just coming on to half an hour, 30 minutes completed. This is a timed race. And just like that, we have a breakaway group again. And now it is Parker DeLong who has to lead the chasing group. Now, that's a big responsibility for a rookie. He's got to make some very quick decisions here, otherwise this top 3 are going to build a lead, and that is not what everybody behind him wants to see. I wonder if Aaron Johnson might just try and get ahead of Parker DeLong and lead that chasing group. Further back down the field, in 9th position, the orange and white car of Nathan Nicholson for Advanced Autosports is leading the next big group.
He got really loose coming through turn 5 in that Whelen-sponsored car with Jonathan Neudorf right behind him, and John Jadouin in the mix there too with Grant West also. So those 4 cars battling it out really, really well with Alex Bashura involved as well.
Was there a little touch because there's some damage to the right rear of that Whelen car? Yes, there was, coming through turn 5 again. Nathan Nicholson then with Jonathan Neudorf for BSI running in 9th and 10th position. As I said, they're at the head of another big group. But at the moment, it's all going to plan for Wagner, Fletcher and Workman. Sounds like a very expensive firm of attorneys at law. But at the moment, that trio are pulling away. And I've got to say, Gresham Wagner, if he gets a clear run through the chicane at the bottom of the hill, he is able to pull out a car and a half before he gets to the line. Almost as if he's practicing that run to the line.
I think that is
now
what
in
he's
9th position. So there's been a shuffle around in that battle for 9th as Noah Harmon gets up ahead of Jean Jadouin and Jonathan Neudorf and Nate Nicholson, Grant West, Alex Bachura. Julian De Costa is in that battle as well as Frankie Barroso for the second of the AAG racing cars.
Nicholson's bumper is flapping now, John. That damage to the right rear has created more of an issue because now it's becoming a parachute as Nicholson goes around the track, and he has dropped the 2 positions. Jean Jadouin has gone through as well, but at the head of the field, MMR, BSI, JTR.
That incident between Aaron Johnson and Nate Cicero has been reviewed. There will be no further action. Race control getting that information to the teams. There is pits to car radio here, so the drivers will know that at the moment nobody at the front of the field is going to get any penalties. Well, I'm impressed here. It is very, very unusual that we see gaps of up to 2 seconds between groups of cars, but that's exactly what we've got now. Half a second between the top 3 and then 2 seconds back to Parker DeLong and Aaron Johnson. And as I thought, Johnson has come to the head of that second group. He realises the danger here, Shea. He's trying to show the rookie the way. Let's work together. Let's use the draft. Cicero, Gonzalez and Thomas all in that 5-car group, but at the moment they're 2 seconds away from a spot on the podium.
And he can smell it as Parker DeLong is
It's not the script.
It's not the script. Parker DeLong is editing his own script. He has written his Hollywood version of this weekend where he winds up on the top step of the podium, and right now he's directing the film too, because he's doing whatever he can to make it to the front position ahead of Aaron Johnson, Tyler Gonzalez, Weston Workman's ahead of him, Nate Cicero, Jared Thomas. Those are race winners, let alone championship contenders.
The problem is that his desire to lead this group is slowing them up. Look at the lap times from last time around. The leaders are able to pull away. We're not talking about a second here and a second there. We're not even talking about half a second. We're talking about tenths and half of tenths. But that's what happens in Mazda racing. The moment that you start to fight, it takes you off the optimum, the fastest line through the corners, and these cars are all about minimum corner speed. You want to get through the corners as much as possible. They've got a huge amount of mechanical grip on the Michelin slick racing tyres, but what they don't have is any aerodynamic grip. So down the tubes, on the fast bits, the straights, basically if you can get 3 cars, they'll work better than 2 cars will work better than 1. But if you're holding yourself up by fighting into, through and out of the corners, then you are losing time. It's a simple equation. The lead 3 working nicely. Wagner, Fletcher, Workman. I could have put that on a tape and just repeated it the last 5 or 6 laps.
Well, Gresham needs to lead 2 more laps in order to take the 10 bonus points for the most laps led, because on the next lap he'll be tied with Tyler Gonzalez. The subsequent lap he'll take it.
Yep.
But The problem is, we've seen this story before, and that's how it ends. There is somebody off in the wall. I'm imagining that that will be a full course caution. It is at turn 1, and it is reported as an impact. It's Grant West, the number 50 machine. That will definitely bring out a yellow.
This is the best news that Aaron Johnson could have had. They dropped a second and a half to the leaders last time around by fighting. Now, Grant West in that number 20 car has deranged the front, and with 10 minutes on the nosy to go, we have a full course yellow. The question now will be, how quick can we get that car? How quickly can we get that car recovered? Grant was battling in the midfield
with Julian DaCosta,
and he's just locked it up himself.
Ooh.
Went way too deep into the corner, and now was that a misjudgment? Julian brakes. No, they both braked at the same time, but the right-hand front tyre, in fact, both of the front tyres were very, very heavily locked up. The witness marks on the road, the 11s are there. Now, did he You don't have to heel and toe on these cars. You can go down the box with the auto blip. I was in the old style of the cars, which I have driven around here, and what a lot of fun they are. It was a stick shift box, and you had to do the old heeling and towing, so you were using 2 pedals with 1 foot. Sometimes you could catch the throttle, but that shouldn't have been the case there for that number 30 driver.
Wagner is loving that there is no urgency to get this car out of the tire barrier either, because not only is he claiming more points for leading more laps as this is going, the time is winding down, and that's giving more of an opportunity for Gresham Wagner to potentially claim a win here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, his first since 2021.
Brake lights went on pretty much identically between Grant and who did we say was
Julian
it was Julian DaCosta, wasn't it? Yeah. They were battling for 13th and 14th position. If anything, yes, Julian on the insides, brake lights did come on earlier, but you would expect that because he was on a slightly tighter line into turn 1. But it was just the ferocity of the front Michelin tyres locking up. 8 minutes to go, and how long will a safety car lap be? Fans are out in force here for Matul Patilamon this weekend. Thanks to each and every one of them for making this such a must-visit event. 1998, the first time that we had Patilamon. At that time, it was a one-off event. 1999 spurred by the success of this event. The late and much missed Dr. Don Panos decided to form the American Le Mans Series, and for pretty much a decade really it was the de facto world championship for endurance racing sports cars. We didn't have the WEC in those days, we didn't need it. We had the ALMS from Europe, from the Far East and from America. People, teams and manufacturers came to compete, and that legacy endures to this day, and the program of enhancements and infrastructure development that Dr. Don put into motion then has left us with this superb facility, and where we are now looking out on the start finish line, the latest witness to that is the Michelin Tower, the new press room.
So his whole mantra, for the fans.
For the fans.
Doesn't get better than that.
No. Now on the second floor of the Michelin Tower, the TV booth just to our left, where our colleagues from NBC will be at the weekend. The sun's streaming in. We've got the blinds down at the moment, and giving us a perfect afternoon. I think with a bit of luck and a fair wind, we might go back racing this time. I'm carefully watching the lights on the Whelen MX-5 safety car.
I might not be able to watch. This is going to be chaos when we go back to green.
Green-white checker, isn't it?
It's going to be a green-white checker, and it's going to be that with, let's see, how many are left? 21 cars thinking that they can take the win. No, sorry, 20 cars are on the lead lap. Honestly, any one of them could wind up on the podium.
Are you counting out Woody Hyman just because he's a lap down?
Yeah, because he's completed 22 laps, and the leaders have done 23.
If we have a Talladega-style incident in the front of the field and Woody picks his way through, unlaps himself and goes round, it could still happen.
I would not
It's
be
Road
surprised.
Atlanta shit.
It's
Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta.
And it's the Whelen MX-5 Cup Championship.
Exactly.
And stranger things have happened. Lights are out on that beautiful safety car, which, by the way, I would love to have it going. It's so pretty. But that means that we are going to be going back to green. I talked to the drivers this morning, by the way, about how cold it was for qualifying. And I said, are you guys going to be chilly in there with the open cockpit, the wind flow? The answer was no, actually. With the way that the exhaust works and the way that the engine heat comes through the car, they're actually still hot in there. So this morning they were nice and comfy, and right now with the sun streaming in, I'm sure it's more than pleasant day to have a convertible to have a little bit of fun with.
Well, I've reacquainted myself with the ND Mazda MX-5, the new for 2024. Evolution of that car earlier on this year on a beautiful spring day right in the centre of England, and it took me about 100 yards and changing from first to second and third to remind myself why these cars are so much fun on the street and on the back roads, as well as pure racing delight, and that's what we have here. The cars come in from Japan, the Flis brothers take them apart and put them back together again, adding well over 250 dedicated racing parts to these machines. But the engine, the beating heart of the MX-5 is the road car engine, unmolested, untuned. 3 minutes and 40 seconds or thereabouts as we come back to green, and Gresham Wagner leads them through. Fletcher Workman, Johnson DeLong, that 3.5 seconds has gone now, and Aaron Johnson in 4th position. A dive down the inside by Tyler Gonzalez. He moves up to 5th position in the white Mazda. That's easily spotted. Jared Thomas is right there as well in the red and white car, but at the front of the field it's black and blue, and lighter blue, and then purple and blue. It is all those shades of azure, etc., that are at the front of the field. Even in 4th position, Aaron Johnson in the black car with the blue fender stripes, and then the white, green and red of Tyler Gonzalez. It will, I do not think this will be the white flag actually this time around. We might get one more. It will depend how quickly they can get back down. A lap time around here is about 1:36. This is going to be tight as to whether we see the white flag this time around, Shea. Oh, off in the back of that leading group. That I think was Jonathan Neudorf, not sure though.
Yep, I think
there was
you're
a
right.
bit of dust, could have been the 55. Now it's Thomas in 7th position, who is just losing the top 5 or 6 ahead of him. Side by side, Tyler Gonzalez tries to make a move in that white, green and red car. 2 minutes 19 as they come down to the bottom of the hill. It's not going to be the white flag this time. We're going to get another 5 miles at the end of this one. We could run another 55 miles as far as I'm concerned. This is quality stuff. To the line then. 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
No white flag.
No white flag. This one, and then the white flag, and one more. So in fact that is, so that's going to be 7.5 miles, isn't it?
It is, and Gresham Wagner officially with the bonus points for leading the most laps, because he now has enough of a gap that even if Tyler Gonzalez leads the last lap, it still goes the way of Gresham. He also holds on to the fastest lap of the race provisionally. That's important because it could not only translate to the 10 bonus points today, but a pole position for tomorrow as well.
I'm getting overly excited. I had 2.5 miles. It was 5 miles to the across the line. They'll get the white flag next time. They don't do 2 after that, do they? Of course not. Still Wagner. Happy to lead? I'm not sure. Fletcher, happy to be in 2nd? Yes. Workman in 3rd place. Now, we've seen him in these positions before. He has won races as a rookie this year. He's also, was it here last year when he had a chance of winning and he made a little bit of a bad decision in the last couple of laps?
Workman?
Yeah.
No. Workman's debut was this season.
Right. So, can he hold on to that leading pair with Gonzalez, who's looked very racy since the top of the drop of the green flag some 45 minutes ago. 1, 2, 3 across, and it's Workman being pushed by Gonzalez, and the back end of the purple Mazda steps out under braking as the front end dives down, but those two are catapulted to the lead through the chicane at the bottom of the hill under the Fox Factory 120 bridge. Now back into our view and down towards the final corner. We've seen passes made here in the past. Was that just a little eye being had by Wagner in the number 5 car in 3rd position? 2.5 miles from right now through turn 1. Fletcher's not out of this either, and Aaron Johnson, what about Parker DeLong in 6th position? May just be a little bit too far back. Workman leads it. The pressure is on the shoulders of the rookie. He's managed to weather that storm twice this season already. Gonzalez has had a quick car all day, and so has Wagner. Dumped off early at the first corner from down at the bottom, reaches of the top 10, fought his way back to lead this race. Fletcher over the curbs, behind Fletcher, Johnson, the 24 car, weaves to the right, then to his left, then Parker DeLong, halfway around, we're at turn 6. Into the all-important turn 7. Do not miss your braking point here. You want to have a chance of taking the lead down at turn 9.
Let's be honest, John. The tracks that Weston Workman has won have been big tracks. CTMP and Sebring as Tyler Gonzalez goes down the inside, and Gresham Wagner is right there. Now, Gresham is setting himself up in this position. He's not trying to help Gonzalez. He is looking for a way to victory.
Jeremy Fletcher having to make a decision there. Do I go with Workman? Do I go with the 2 leaders? 1, 2, 3, 4 wide across the track, and there's a little touch on Workman as he went to take the racing line, and through goes Gresham Wagner. Exactly as Shea said, and off goes Fletcher into the gravel. He's not coming back from there. There was a side-by-side contact. It's going to be Gresham Wagner who set it up, or halfway down the back straight. He'll take the penultimate victory of the year. Workman coming through down in 6th position after leading the last lap, and Jeremy Fletcher is disappointed. Oh, and Tyler Gonzalez off as well in that incident. So Gonzalez, well, he's got across the line. Gonzalez has been scored in 2nd position. Fletcher just getting out of his car. Well, we've got something to pick out of that, as a set of Michelins are being put to the sword by Gresham Wagner. Not using them tomorrow then. Right, let's try and work out what happened. Wagner did exactly the right thing. He pushed Tyler Gonzalez. That gave him the opportunity to go up the lead. There was a little touch on so Tyler Gonzalez, there's no way Gonzalez was second there, which is what we have on the timing. So we'll have to go back and have a look at that again and see as it Gonzalez actually spun out at turn 9. I think he had a problem before that. And through to the line. So Gonzalez, I didn't see any contact there. It's going to be looked at, that turn 10 incident. Jeremy Fletcher and Tyler Gonzalez did not make the line. So let me now, as the timing screen is reset, Gresham Wagner from Parker DeLong in 2nd place for the rookie, Jared Thomas in 3rd in the red and white 96, Weston Workman making it 2 rookies in the top 4, and the top 6 made up by Montgomery McAleer Racing's Nate Cicero and Aaron Johnson. So Shea is doing a little bit of arithmetic.
I'm actually having to consult the rule book to see how far down we go for 20th place points and what it is on the chart. 110 points going the way of Fletcher. Bear with me for just a second.
Unofficial results with that turn 10 schmozzle being looked at.
Okay.
Top 3, I reckon Gresham Wagner is safe from anything that happens because he made the play, got down the inside, and he wins the race. Parker DeLong comes up into 2nd place after all of that accident and incident ahead of him. Jared Thomas to 3rd. Weston Workman 4th. Cicero, Johnson, Jodouin, Nicholson, Harmon, DeCosta, the top 10. Remember, Jagger Jones didn't start because he was serving his 1 race ban. Sally Mott with contact early on that brought her into the pits. Arithmetic time. Shea Adam.
Remember how important I said bonus points are. That is what has given Gresham Wagner the unofficial lead after today's race. He has 3,470, 20 points ahead of Jared Thomas. So Wagner leads Thomas. In third position, it's now Nate Cicero, 3,340. Dropping all the way down to fourth is Jeremy Fletcher, 3,330. And then in fifth is Aaron Johnson on 3,260.
But that, I reckon, means we have probably 4 or 5 drivers still in with a chance.
We have 5 drivers who can take the big check.
Well, how close do you like it? 45 minutes of action here has set it up for exactly the same tomorrow as we have the grand finale of the 2024 Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup. Shea Adam was alongside me, John Hindorf. 5 drivers could take the big check tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. Live from Road Atlanta.